Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Shobocast. I'm Paul.
I'm Dan.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Dan.
And I've
Also
finally
Dan.
nailed the intro.
Yeah, you have. I still think we should mention this is a podcast about Doctor Who in the intro.
This is a Doctor Who podcast.
This is the only
As
Doctor Who podcast
every single thing about it will lead you to believe.
in the world, I
It's a
believe.
Dr. Foster podcast.
We're the first one, aren't we?
We were the first ever Doctor Who podcast back in the day, back in about 2 months
First
ago.
and only.
Yeah.
Yeah. 15 episodes already.
Look at us go.
Machine.
I know, yeah.
15
Who'd have
episodes in how many weeks?
I don't know. 15?
thought? I don't know.
No.
20?
I think it has actually been 16
30?
because we did skip a week.
I feel like we skipped more than a week.
Oh no,
No,
we
we
skipped.
skipped.
Sorry, yeah, no, we skipped. We didn't record one
Skipped
week
about
because
3
it
weeks.
failed. But we recorded that news thing that got scrapped. So actually, this is yeah. So it's 17 weeks.
But
Doesn't
we've
matter.
also had like
Doesn't
2
matter.
weeks off as well. So
It
it's
means
about
we're
19.
cowards.
Today we're chatting about some of the recent news and the
What
Christmas,
news?
New Year special, and also we're going to be
I'm
getting
good.
balls
opinions about
deep
that.
into the Asylum later on.
Balls deep. Eggs deep, you might say.
Eggs deep,
Paul's deep.
Paul's deep. Very
Yeah.
good.
No.
How's
Is it
everyone's
The
week
master's
been?
tits deep.
It's alright. I've started watching Doctor Who from the start.
Which
Fine.
Which
start?
start?
Well, yeah.
1963.
Oh! Good luck
You're
to
gonna
you.
regret it, man.
They had a different idea of pacing in the 60s, didn't they?
They had
no
no
such
idea.
idea.
Pacing in the 60s.
They had no concept of it.
What was pacing, they asked, as they
The
paced the room.
Daleks is a lot of parts. It's good, but it's
8 parts.
7 parts,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, wait until you get to the war games.
Oh,
6 parts,
can't
too
wait.
many.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
episode.
I just finished the Daleks.
Very good.
I think when my exams are done, I'm just going to spend every day up to Christmas just watching it.
That's a great idea.
Mhm.
And then when
I
you're not
did
doing that, you can be on a podcast talking about it.
Yeah.
There is no escape.
I did that during the first lockdown. I started on the 1st of June doing it. And
What are you
I
now?
I finished it about 2 days before we started the first recording for this. But I
I
also took a
start-
week off because I just got fatigued of Doctor Who.
I had
I
that
started
literally
in,
the other
like,
day.
I started in like February or something, and I've got two whole stories left to watch in season 1.
I've jumped all
'Cause
over the
it's-
place.
It's so boring.
I think in the first,
Like, it's good, but it's so boring.
I think
Like,
the
there's too
first
many
2
parts
months of
everything.
lockdown, I watched the Aztecs and then Revelation of the Daleks and then the Five Doctors. I just go all over the place.
Now I watched them in order. I got to about Tom Baker and had to take a break because it'll do that to you, and then
Yep.
continued.
You'll burn out fast.
Yeah,
God, it's such a rough watch. Like, I cannot wait to get to Patrick Troughton. I love William Hartnell, but I'm so bored.
Troughton is easy to get through though because they're missing like
'Cause he's not going on
85% of his
holiday
stuff.
every
Yeah,
week,
you've
look.
got barely any of his stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
I've been alright. I like
Oh, beautiful. What a
like
lovely
Paul
film.
and Cameron were mentioning just then. I did have a bit of Doctor Who fatigue the other day. I can't remember
Get out.
exactly what I was doing, but it was like I watched Asylum for this episode, and then
Mhm.
I had the chance to watch something else. I thought, maybe not, and I just suddenly felt a bit like sick of seeing the show everywhere. And I went on Twitter to just try and distract myself, and all I follow is people who talk about Doctor Who. So I tried Facebook, and I'm just in these fucking figure groups, and that's all I see. And I'm like, oh no, it's consumed my life.
This is all you
did
are
you-
now.
But luckily, a
Did
trailer
you
came
find
out
out the
tonight,
stuff of the drama, though?
so I'm back into it. But yeah, I had a
Cheeky.
scary moment where I thought I should probably watch a different show for a bit, and yeah, that could have
Don't
been.
be silly.
No, I know.
It would sort of ruin this podcast if you did that though.
If you'd all watched, like, I don't know, the Caves of Androzani, and I'd watched, like, Mission Impossible
What's that?
2,
Oh, why would you?
Hmm.
That's the worst one.
But in both of these scenarios that you've just devised.
Mhm.
We watched Mission Impossible 2 a while. Me and my flat have been. We made our way through every Mission Impossible movie a few weeks ago. And it's been a long time since I'd seen 2. It's bad. It's so bad.
I've heard
What about
6 is
just
really
Hair, though?
good.
6 is the best one.
Yeah. I don't know.
And now he's in space.
Can't. I don't know if I can express how much I love the Mission Impossible movies. Can't wait. I can't wait for 7 and 8.
I've never seen them.
You're
I've
missing
seen
out.
a few of them.
I think they're still filming 7 and 8 at the moment, back to back.
Yeah.
We got next year.
Oh, it's not actually. Never mind.
Before we ask Paul what he's been up to this week, I have a feeling he's probably forgotten, but he's been on a podcast, haven't you? That's out.
I
now.
have. That was 2 weeks ago.
The way you asked that, it sounded like a teacher introducing a new child
Yeah.
to the class.
You've been you've been drawing
Paul's
pictures of
been on
trees, haven't you? Show
Paul's
the
been
other
on
kids.
a podcast, hasn't he? Why don't you tell the class about this?
I just thought he'd want to plug it.
Yeah, if you like Marvel movies, and who doesn't?
Some
I was
people.
on, well, this Marvel movie no one likes, but I was on a podcast called Every Marvel Movie Ever, talking about Fan Stick from 2015. So head over there to get some hot takes.
What do you
Yeah.
think of that movie?
I enjoy it, but it's bad.
All right. So
I've
now
not
no one
listened
has to
to-
watch the episode because we know your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
I've been sick again.
Edit it out. Edit it out.
Nah.
I've listened to a bit of that podcast, but I quite enjoyed the start of it, where it sounded like they were going to introduce you by your full name, and they got Paul, and just left it at that, and didn't even attempt to be your surname.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
No, I
Because your
don't.
full name is Paul Fuseli, isn't it? That's
Yeah. So it is.
Paul
It's a
Penny.
hard one to spell.
Paul
if you know it.
calligraphy.
Paul
That's the
Cag.
Cag. It's
So
it's
Paul Spaghetti, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chibnall.
Paul.
No, that's what he wants his name to be.
Daddy Chibs. Adopt me.
Now you've made it weird.
No, you can always edit it out, Dan, but you won't.
No.
He never will.
Never.
He never will. He never does.
Again,
I've only just noticed Dan's profile picture's him staring at a dog.
I just want to
Like, how
apologize.
weird.
It's Walter. I just want to apologize again for my squeaky stool this week.
Ooh,
Fix it.
how squeaky is it? Can we hear it?
I don't know if you can. Hang on. Do you hear that?
It's not squeaky.
Wow, Discord
For a
has
second,
been
I
very
thought Dan was
trippy.
having sex on the podcast.
I should apologize for my squeaky mouse. I wonder if you can hear this.
Whoa,
Oh, that was unpleasant.
that was horrible.
Yeah.
I
Right.
should apologise for Cameron.
Yeah. Let's do the
Yep.
news.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I was watching the news earlier,
Oh,
and
no.
Dan, would you like to do the news?
What?
We've already transitioned into it.
Yeah.
Paul.
How much news was
you
there
just
this
took
week,
us
though?
out of the room and then us back in
There
again.
wasn't that much news.
Speaking of news, Dan, the news.
the news. Well, on the subject of news,
Should we
I've got
leave a
some
gap
news
for the
for-
theme?
No.
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 Okay.
First
What
bit
a-
of news.
What a lovely theme it was.
The Big Finish monthly range is coming to an end.
No.
Yeah, I say coming to an end. It's being rebranded.
To what?
I think they're all. So does someone want to explain what the monthly range is first of all?
Every week they will do, every month. Sorry,
Every week.
they will do one.
That's why they're rebranding it. It's because they've realised it's not every month; it's every week.
So it's big finishing then.
Yes, there is a big fin. Yeah, you could say that, but I won't. Yeah, I don't think you actually finished that explanation, but I'll
So-
go with it.
Every release an audio story.
Starring.
Anyone?
Well, it's not anyone, is it?
You,
Yeah.
the listener.
It's the
Different
fifth,
Doctor every month.
sixth, or seventh Doctor, isn't it? It used to be the eighth.
No, it's any Doctor
The fifth, sixth, or seventh.
or eighth.
Well, no, the eighth
and the
used to be
fourth.
part of it.
And the
The,
fourth
eighth,
Doctor.
the eighth used to be part of it, but he got split off into his own series, didn't he? He had
Yeah.
like split off series as well as
Since
Tom
when did you
Baker.
become an expert on
Tom
Big
Baker's
Finish?
Since I read the Wikipedia page about the monthly Rangers.
Oh, right.
Tom Baker still does it. I think I bought one the other month. I'm pretty
sure he has his own
Well,
series. But anyway, it's being
I bought-
rebranded so that
Yeah.
the fifth, sixth, and seventh Doctor have their own series, much like the eighth or Tom Baker.
Wonderful.
So that they've not just got one coming out every month. And it's ending in March 2021 with the end of
Just
the
next week,
beginning.
though.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
with the end of the beginning starring Peter Davis and Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, and Paul McGann.
Yay.
Yeah. Even though Paul McGann's not in the monthly range, Dan.
It used to be.
Bet you feel silly now, don't you?
Yeah. Oh,
He still is, apparently. From what you've
He's
just
crying.
told us.
Look, he's crying.
I've,
Look.
Look, you've made him cry.
I'm crying.
No, not you, Paul McGann. We don't care about you, Dan.
Paul
Apologise. to
McGann,
Paul
Yeah, I
yes,
meant
McGann.
Paul
yeah.
McGann's crying.
Yeah.
I'm crying also, but it
Friend of the
it
show,
doesn't
Paul
matter.
McGann.
Can you say a TV movie quote whilst crying?
I'm half human on my mother's side.
These shoes fit perfectly.
Still not seen it.
What? You not?
Bruce, the Asian child.
I always dress for the occasion.
I've
Just
Googled
sounded
Paul
even
McGann.
more
Paul
Eric
McGann
Roberts.
crying.
I
What?
always dress for the occasion.
Cameron's
Okay.
turn now.
I've googled Paul McGann
I'm
crying.
looking
and
at
there's
Big
not
Finish
much.
stories.
Wow. If you want those, you should have listened to 2 episodes ago. Or was it 1 episode?
No, yeah.
That was 2 episodes ago.
No, I'm wondering why
Our
Big
magnum
Finish
opus.
Magnum
is
opus.
deciding to give me the price in euro.
Well,
That's your
what?
fault.
Right.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh, very quickly on the subject of Big Finish.
Oh god.
The 10th Doctor and River Song audio series came out this week, if
Oh
anyone's
yeah, there's
interested.
another one of them, isn't there?
Yeah, I've bought it. I haven't listened to it yet, so I'll probably have a listen to it
I
by the
didn't,
next
I
episode.
didn't expect that twist. You've bought it.
What a surprise! Paul buying something from Big Finish.
It's like a reaction to him now. He just sees it and he just clicks buy.
The end of the beginning story, though, is being produced by Emily Cook from Doctor Who magazine and the Doctor Who lockdown stuff.
What a cook.
She's cooking it up. She's cooking up a storm.
She's got 2
She's
production
Emily
credits.
cooking up a storm.
Sorry, Liam. Sorry, Emily.
2 production credits at Big Finish now. She's got this and the Torchwood monthly for one coming out next year.
I can't believe the Camerons doing trivia for the news.
Gotta get it in somewhere.
That's what we pay him for. Also, that's what she said.
What cheese sticking in?
This is the amazing quality podcasting I can do when I'm not drunk.
I know, yeah. It's good that we got you to that rehab clinic.
Yeah. I
It
feel,
is a shame
I
you're
feel
now
like
hooked on
I've found
ecstasy,
who
though.
I am without the drink.
And quite frankly, I don't like talking to him. Get back on the drink.
Alright, one sec.
Was there any other news this week, Dan?
There was a couple of bits of other news.
Just
Just as a quick bite of news. Quick bite. I think Time Fracture's been moved back to April. Moved to
Aw.
April, hasn't it?
Anyway.
Yeah,
Oh no! Next bit of news.
because I shared that bit of news.
Yes.
It
I
was
was excited about that. I think I'm the only one.
I was vaguely excited. I'd been more excited if
it
things
was
had
anything
happened
else.
with my mum's production companies that she knows.
I still think we should all, if we're still doing this by April, we should
Yeah.
all meet
How
up.
much
I
is
think
it?
I can't remember, but I do think
Check,
we should
find
do it.
out.
It's about
Check right
£5
now.
grand.
You're the trivia guy. What? Found you.
I never could actually find a proper admission price because it was all like, if you've got this special coin, it will only cost you this much.
Ugh.
We can do it when we make the K9.
Right, I'm on the website
I
now.
forgot about that. I still need to get a car before we can do that.
Can you just get a train? Get on the train.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to
No,
do.
we need a car for the video. I'm only getting a car for this video. You know that.
Oh, we can get like. Bring a green screen.
I'm not
we'll
buying a green screen.
We can put a stock image photo of a car in the back.
Alright, nah, fuck that shit. From 50 quid per ticket.
Cameron,
You could
just
go
ask
and,
your
you
mum
can
about
go and
that.
see a band for that much, I guess.
Band-Aid.
At not the arena.
It's actually £49 and 45 pence.
Yeah, well,
Oh, well, now I can afford it now.
you had exactly
That
that
could
much
buy
in the
his Big
bank.
Finish stories.
That could buy one Big Finish story.
I could, yeah.
Could buy a 5-minute preview of a Big Finish story.
I got a bursary off uni the other day, and I just bought the Masterful collector's edition for 45 quid. And then I thought, no, I'll buy it when I get paid a couple of days later.
Well,
So-
I've been paid, and it's about half the amount that I normally get paid, so that's very fun.
Oh.
Oh, fellow.
That's news to me.
That's
News.
news to me.
When I get my furlough pay, it's basically just my regular pay because they've added up loads of overtime I did. So.
That's news to me.
Congratulations.
I know,
Well, moving on from that quick bite of news that was quite long.
Almost full.
Series 13 set photos.
Holy shit.
Oh.
It's basically the same as last week. but
Santarans!
It's confirmation that we've got Santarans.
Oh, and what did he look like that?
Santarans.
Sexy as fuck.
No, but what Santarans did he look like that?
Oh, Santarans.
They look like the
No,
ones from
no,
when
no.
I was a little lad watching the Two Doctors.
Sure. Oh, alright.
Yes.
Bit of a weird one to fit.
Santarans was spotted filming in Cardiff with it's confirmed to be a return to the old colour scheme at the very least.
And guns.
Yep.
And guns. They've got real guns now.
No, they've got the
Santarans
water
have got
pistol looking ones.
Santarans they've got guns. I don't know where this joke is going.
Leave why.
Your mum's got guns.
Oh, shit.
Oh. You still use them?
Yeah, this was basically confirmed by Chibnall as well. I mean, it's confirmed by the pictures. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
They were just
But
there
there
for a
was-
joke.
Yeah,
We got-
he was interviewed in the Radio Times about the next series. And he did mention that there are more monsters coming back. There are ones who have appeared. Oh, should I do his accent? What does he actually sound like?
I've never heard them speak.
He's
A bit
I don't know
bland
where-
and boring.
yeah.
Southern.
I can't
I don't know
remember.
where he's from, but I know he went to university in Sheffield, so I'm going to give him a northern accent. There are ones who've appeared over the last 15 years that are deserving of another visit in the next series. In fact, they're probably formulating their plans as we speak.
Oh,
Oh!
You know what, though?
What?
That's a big fuck you to everyone who thinks Chris Chibnall hates the modern series.
He's from Merseyside.
Oh my
who
God!
Said that? Who said that?
Oh, not my Doctor fans. They're always like, he clearly hates the
I think he
The
clearly
show.
hates storytelling.
I disagree.
That's a bit of a joke there. Um, he's also confirmed that there's no classic monsters returning that haven't already been brought back in the modern series.
Oh,
Um,
there's no is it pterodactyls?
I don't
No.
There's no
About-
Sea devils
there's no sea
oh,
devils.
I wish.
again.
How would they? I'm
Again.
convinced they've not tried Sea Devils yet because there's no way of making them look good without drastically changing the design.
That's yeah,
But
they
they
were
did
like
that
what they
with
did with
Silurians as well,
Silurians
though.
as well.
Yeah, I
We all
can't.
said that at the
I
same
have no idea what.
Third eye.
To be fair, the old Silurians just look like a face made of rock, and then the new ones look like actual lizard people. So yeah,
Roch.
rock, lad.
Roch.
Rock.
That's news to me. Next
Oh,
news.
very good. We got any
Speaking-
more thoughts on? Oh, go on.
No.
What are you saying, Cameron?
Yeah, he's just
I was
saying
going to try and move
speaking.
on to the next bit. Speaking
No,
of
no.
classic Who,
No.
there was news with that, wasn't there?
No.
What's
Wait,
that?
Oh yeah, classic
In
Who is
the,
shit.
you forgot to mention, Dan, that the episode the Sontarans are in is rumoured to be a Crimean War-based episode.
Oh, we talked about that last week, Paul.
Oh.
Did it?
I
Yeah.
don't think it is.
They were seen filming at the same time.
All week, Cameron.
No,
saying
I've
the
said
Crimean
the
Wars.
Sontarans and the Crimean War,
I-
but the Sontarans have been seen filmed in Cardiff.
And the Crimean
John
stuff
Bishop.
was also filming in Wales.
I
Dan, what do you
Shut
want to say?
No, I just want to say that
I-
I saw a thing in a group chat I'm in that someone theorized that maybe they're shooting the Sontaran episodes earlier on because most of the actors are wearing masks, so it's easier to, stay clear of each other.
I mean, they're wearing heavy prosthetics.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's how it works on film sets.
No!
I don't think that's how it works on film sets.
Well, you just don't
They're
understand
like-
my
they're
level
like-
of intellect, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
that's true. That's true. You are very clever. They film sets are like closed systems, really. Like you test it as you go in and as you go out.
Yeah. I know. I'm just... That's news to me. Next news.
Okay.
What is
Well,
this?
this is the big news.
Is it?
Well, actually, wait. What, Cameron? What were you saying about news about Classic Who?
Classic Blu-ray,
Is this
The-
the Series 8 Blu-ray?
Season 8.
I meant the Web of Fear bit.
The
Yeah.
what?
Web of
Oh,
Fear.
yeah.
What's happened
And
with the
the-
Web of Fear?
Getting reanimated,
They've reanimated it.
just like Frankenstein. Just
Oh.
monster.
I made this news in a rush. I was rushed a little bit. What's
You've
happened
had
with the Web of Fear?
all week, Dan.
Yeah, I know, and it
You
came
had
down to the
one
last
job.
hour or so. I've got a lot of other stuff to do.
If anyone's
people-
interested in taking Dan's place, please email us.
No, because they won't do it as good as me.
They've animated. Remember that time you forgot to do the news?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, completely.
They've animated the final episode of the Web of Fear as well as the trailer for the Web of Fear, where
To
Patrick
be fair,
Troughton
I can't comment on
introduces.
Dan's little issue there because I'm the one who forgot we were even recording an episode the other week.
I know, yeah.
I was like sat downstairs watching Top Gear or something, and I got a message. Where are you?
We also got the announcement of the Day of the Doctor Steelbook and a Season 8 Blu-ray for the Classic Collection, which features from the show from behind the sofa, which is like a documentary thing on it, where like actors watch a classic episode and react to it.
Have you seen the trailer on
And
YouTube?
it's with Sasha Dewan reacting to Roger Delgado's first appearance. So
What, in
that's
terror?
and I think Ratney from Sarah Jane Adventures as well, obviously because
Yeah.
they live together, so they're allowed to be on the same couch. But yeah, that's probably the only reason I'm buying it, to be honest, because I was going to stop buying them.
Yeah, go and watch the trailer on YouTube. It's really good. It's got Katie
The
Manning
one
in
with
it,
Joe
and she's
Dunn,
just wonderful. Right, so are we into the big news now?
Are we?
I think we're into the big news this week.
I'm just gonna get the news itself on my phone so I can pause it at
Okay.
certain points so I know what we're talking about. This is the trailer for the Christmas special. I mean New Year's special.
Yep.
Revolution of the Daleks.
It's New Year's, isn't it? Revolution of the Daleks. It's here. Jack's back. The Daleks are back.
The Doctor is back.
Probably some poor writing is back.
The Who is
The
back.
Ting is back.
Wow.
The Pretting is back.
Whoa! Let's go back to that poor writing comment. Shut up, Dan.
Shut up, Dan. Stop saying
He's
true
not
things.
very good at.
We're all
He's not very
optimistic.
good at
here.
his job.
He's very good at his job.
So
He's not.
He is.
He's not.
He is.
yeah, this is of course the news that
He's not.
Doctor
He
Who.
is.
This is the news that Doctor Who.
He's not.
Shut it, he is. There's a picture of his face on my wall, Dan. Speaks volumes to how good of a writer he is.
It speaks volumes about you, Paul.
I prefer him to Moffat.
I prefer you to
Cyanide?
You prefer me?
Um,
Thank you,
why
Dan. That's
don't
very
you-
kind.
fuck you.
Dan
So,
only writes erotica, so that says a lot about you, really.
Yeah, I saw a thing the other day about someone complaining about the fact that they've given the Daleks boobs because of the new midsection. I just thought you've never seen boobs before.
What?
Like
What?
it was a stretch.
Where are the?
Yeah.
What?
Just the
Yeah,
fact that it
they haven't
points
got
out
boobs.
at the
They've got
front,
one
I suppose,
singular row.
and they've got a thinner waist, but it's a proper thing like that. The Not My Doctors are doing. Oh no, Discord, don't do this. Looks like it's just us this episode. Oh, he's trying.
Should we talk about it?
We're back,
Yeah.
we're
So,
back.
Revolution of the
We're
Daleks.
back.
We got a
Hello.
trailer. We got
Can you
some
hear me?
news. We got. Yes.
Okay.
Fucking hell, Dan,
Sorry,
you never left
everyone
the
just disappeared for about 30
Oh,
seconds, but
fuck.
we're all right.
Yeah, we got a trailer. We got some news. We got some Jack. We got.
Jack.
A release date.
We've been jacking.
We've been jacking off to this.
No.
I have.
TARDIS with post-it notes and stuff.
Started with post-it notes. The
It's
Pating.
quite cute. No. Weeping
The
Angel?
Pating isn't.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Angel.
Is that a Weeping
What
Angel?
looks like a Cyberman?
Man-made
Yeah, I think
Daleks, Age of Steel,
Oh.
Ironsides, it's all being lifted. But I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Never been.
I'm
lifted
excited,
in this
even though I
light, though.
don't think it's going to be good.
I'm with you,
Yeah.
Dan. I think I'm just grateful that it's nearly here.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
excited, and I think it's going to be amazing.
Should we talk about the release date?
Yeah.
Okay.
New Year's
I'm
Day.
Happy with it.
Can I
I'm
start?
fucking fuming. Go on.
Can
Why?
I just say
Oh,
that
no.
I think it's weird that it's New Year's Day. I feel like, considering it's linked to the previous series so much, New Year's Eve would make a bit more sense. Because then it's like
Yeah.
New Year and we get a new series. It's like it's a bit more of a clean slate. It's weird to finish off this little bit of the era a day into the new year when the next series is as well. It's like
There's
know.
so many weird choices with the date. What I don't get, first of all, is why.
Oh,
Because it was for so long they weren't telling us. They were saying it's a festive special.
and when they did tell us,
We're not
going to
tell us when the date is.
They said it was Christmas. I have it on the screen right here.
It's
Stupid BBC.
For the whole time I thought there's one reason why they wouldn't tell us when the date is, and that's because they can reveal that it's going back to Christmas Day.
Chibnall
But it's
doesn't
not.
care that you don't like.
I
that
thought
on
it's
New
just
Year's
they'd
Day.
been given the date really last minute.
No.
Lack of communication, I think. That's
That
why,
would make sense.
Hence the Instagram error.
Yeah, I
Um,
just don't get why Chris Chibnall seems to think people want a New Year's special.
I don't think
What is that?
Honestly, I don't
What
think
is
it
that?
was his decision.
Well,
Moffat
it
ran out
was
of
at the
ideas.
start, wasn't it?
Moffat ran out of ideas writing Christmas specials. He admitted that. He said it was a bit too forced trying to write a Christmas themed episode every year.
That's the thing that
So
you don't
may-
have. It doesn't
maybe-
have to be that.
It's just an episode on Christmas.
Yeah.
Or it
But
can be an
maybe it
episode
was like,
that
oh,
relates to
Chibnall, why
people.
don't you just not try your own thing? And he was like, well, I'll try.
But the thing is,
I'll
with
try New Year.
Resolution, what's that got to do with New Year's Day?
Nothing.
That's not a New Year's Day themed episode.
No, it's just a
Resolution.
little bit.
It's just an episode.
Set on New Year's Day.
No, I'm not that pissed
But
off
it's-
about the date. I just think it's a bit odd how I think that they've been. I don't think they've been able to, as a whole, just be like, yes, Doctor Who. We would like Doctor Who on now, and they've just decided. I think they've been given, look, you can have this time, and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Well, the first time Chibnall seemed to say it was his choice, like for Resolution.
Yeah, should we get him on?
Hey, Dan.
Let's get him on the pod.
I'll add him
and
to the
take
Discord server.
Rip the
Done.
piss out of him.
Other Dan. Dan.
Go on.
Dan. Other
Yeah.
Dan. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
the other Dan.
Yeah.
Do you know,
Okay.
when with this being New Year's Day 2021,
Hmm.
that means it's been 2 years since the Daleks were in the show.
Oh,
Which means
well, it's
that
not because
every
we've had...
year rule. No, it
Wait,
was
are you
the
on
first
about?
day
Are
of
you on about the
2019.
conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
What?
So
The conspiracy
there's a theory
theory.
that the
that,
Daleks have to show up on screen
No,
every
it's
single year.
that they have to. It's that the BBC have to use the Dalek property every year to keep the rights.
And it's been 2 years since they
Well, no,
last
it's
used
not,
them.
because to
when they set
think
through
of
it.
all of the spin-off media this year, it's all had Daleks in it.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's not like televised media.
Yeah.
So there's this rule where it's like no, you have to use them in an episode every year, and they just like found a million loopholes, or it just doesn't exist,
Or it goes back
It
to Terry
doesn't
Nation.
exist.
which is more likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like they've got the money anyway to haggle with Terry Nation's estate. I don't believe the theory. It's just a weird thing that comes up.
I don't
But-
believe the
Yeah.
To be honest, though, since it was from a certain period when I found out about it, where it actually did line up with what was happening, and it was like,
Hmm.
that's a bit weird that
Chip-
they're using
Chip
Daleks
all
in
took
this.
over,
And then
and he's a maverick.
I
Doesn't
think
play by the
it's
rules.
just yeah, I think just as time's gone on,
It
it's
was
become
weird
less
that
likely.
Moffat said he didn't like writing them, but he kept writing them.
yeah.
But he
It-
was out
because
of ideas,
you
so
had
he
to,
probably
'cause
just
they were
thought,
Because they were the Daleks in his Doctor Who, and you got to have the Daleks in Doctor Who.
yeah, but he probably
Did-
just thought, well, I'm out of ideas, so I'll just bring the Daleks back, even though I don't want to.
To sort of go towards like Asylum of the Dalek having to look stuff up for that. You said
Hmm.
around that time that you wanted to give the Daleks a break, and this was to bring them back to be more scarier because they were like the Doctor's most reliant, beatable baddie now,
Yeah.
Mm.
and yet they haven't had a substantial break. They've been in at least every series
This
since
is a
he said
substantial
I'm going to
break,
give them a break.
I'd say since Chibnall's took over, they've had a much needed break.
They've
And
still
then-
appeared in every series,
They haven't.
technically.
Well,
It depends when you count Resolution and Revolution.
It was New Year's Day, so it counts as that year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Uh,
But is it part of that
Resolution
series
is
block?
counted as Series 11,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this
I'm
will be
fairly
counted as Series 12.
Should
That's
we
why it's
start?
weird starting on
Resolution,
the new
Should we
year.
talk about this the actual episode?
Yeah.
The actual trailer.
I think one thing that because like when I watched the trailer, I was like, "Ah," and now I've kind
Yep.
of simmered down a bit. I am a bit,
Mhm.
I'm getting a bit fucking fed up with Daleks this year, and I've not
Yeah.
even engaged. I've engaged with barely any of the spin-off media and stuff,
Mhm.
and it's just full of Daleks, and it's like, come on,
Resolution's in the Series 12 Blu-ray.
what the fuck?
It's on the Series 11 Wikipedia.
They haven't thought this
Wikipedia
through.
doesn't count. It's just
Um,
in between.
So what do you
Yeah.
think of the trailer?
It
I thought it
looks good.
Weirdly edited in places.
What it was, it didn't. It felt like just a series of clips as opposed to a trailer.
I thought, no, it all lined up.
No, it
There was
didn't.
a clear,
It didn't
like-
tell us.
No, there's just some bits where like a really odd thing would be, like a weird choice of scene would play. I can't think off the top of my head because I only watched it once. I'm
One-
gonna skip through it on my phone without the sound on.
Okay.
One thing I was thankful for, because one of my only problems with the Timeless Children was I really, really hated that there's just two random TARDISes out in the universe, and one of them was just parked on it forever.
See,
So I'm glad that they're actually revisiting that. 'cause
I
it means he's
knew-
not
I
just
knew
gonna
they
leave
weren't
it there
gonna-
and forget about
they
it.
weren't gonna build that set and then not use it again.
Yeah.
You know they're gonna use it next series as well.
I reckon maybe they'll give it to Jack to sort out.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
It does look good, that
Oh,
the set with the post-it notes.
I've got a theory.
Yeah.
What if Jack
Go on.
comes back? Jack knows how to fly the TARDIS. They go rescue the Doctor in that TARDIS.
Well,
Bob's
I don't
your
know. What seems to it seems to be that because there was that clip of like them announcing Jack's back, and it
Oh
was
yeah,
him saying
and then the TARDIS. Yeah,
like, "Oh, I've missed that sound," which makes me think that the Doctor is going to turn up at some point in the story in that TARDIS,
Yeah, and say
not the one that's
yeah.
parked on Earth.
maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like a time travel thing where Jack's there because the Doctor turned up and said you need to go and get that TARDIS and come and get me out, and then I'll
Like a
come and
bootstrap.
get me.
What do we
And
think?
then-
What do we think of the return of Trump, but not Trump, but allegory for
God,
Trump,
what
but
a-
also
what a-
hates Trump?
Ed Sheeran.
Are you Ed Sheeran?
I
What
watched
a-
that episode this morning.
Paper thin character.
I love that joke, to be honest, but that character is. Do you know what? I wouldn't mind if it was just a Trump allegory, but he also hates Trump.
That's the thing.
So,
It's
like-
like, so is he
Yeah.
a Democrat then? It's really
So is he-
weird.
Is he not a Republican then, or lad, I
It's
just
not thought through at all.
No.
And also, it's just one of them things where they're like, haha, orange man bad.
I was
And
just
you're
gonna
like,
say those exact words. Orange man bad.
yeah,
lad. do
there's
you
no,
follow-
there's no,
There's no substance to it.
nuance
There's
in
no
it.
balls to it. You know.
They
do
don't
you
actually
like
say
Saturday
it. They
night?
just go, "It's Trump." You remember him, don't you?
Yeah, it's like Saturday Night Live, where every single week for the last 4 years they've just been like, haha, he's stupid.
He could now be president, though, in universe.
Yeah, that's why he's back.
That
Well,
was
no, because in the press release, it said disgraced whatever his name is.
Disgraced Ed Sheeran.
disgraced.
And he was like, I've took a break from my music to go on holiday and have a kid. I'm back.
Anyway, so they've done Victory of the Daleks again, haven't they?
No.
This is just Victory of the Daleks.
It's definitely lifted some stuff from it.
What
Yeah.
they've done is they've actually made Daleks. Whether they've... See, I don't know whether they've... Because they've made Daleks, but they also have mutants, so I'm not sure whether they've got a deal with some Daleks.
Well, I think so.
or
There's
whether
a
they've
shot.
made their own.
There's a shot in the trailer of who I assume is the Prime Minister, the Trump allegory, and the guy
Hey,
from.
science
He was in
bloke.
something. He
Yeah,
was in
the
something. And
guy
I
that
can't
was
remember what
in
it is.
something.
Was he in
Yeah.
the Revolution of the Daleks trailer?
No, yeah, he was in the Revolution.
That's his IMDb credit. He's not even in the episode. Just the trailer.
I mean, I think he was in Dracula and something else.
Was he? Who's he playing Dracula?
One of the guys on the ship in the second episode.
Oh, that's a good episode, that. And it's called
Um,
fucking Blood Vessel as well, which is an amazing title.
So there's a shot of them opening something. So what
Yeah.
I think that is the
Dalek.
recon Dalek from Resolution.
Well, that was blue open, so it's already open. What I thought it was, they were opening their Daleks,
Yeah, I
and there
think
was
they
something in
were.
them.
I think the episode will start with them having a little snoop around what the PC whizzes have been making using AI and
Ta-da.
Daleks and stuff. And I think that the real Daleks will come and be like, "Hey, don't be doing that. We've got copyright for that." And it'll just be about copyright the entire episode, and they'll like just file lawsuits against each other.
I love that Chibnall's got a real hard on for getting the Daleks out of the casing. Like,
Yeah,
like,
there's a
he
lot of
just all
them
over.
jumping around, isn't there?
I love that it was just swinging, like
Definitely
Spider-Man
inspired
or
by Alien.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. But I reckon. So in Ace Creeper's theory, he said that the human Daleks were AI, but it does look to be an actual mutant in there. So whether
Mhm.
they like grow it like an embryo or something,
Although
or
there's a shot of like green, like a tower of green
maybe
chambers holding, but I think are Dalek mutants.
maybe it's like, and this is a terrible movie to take an idea from. But have you seen Transformers 4? When
No.
they make their own
like
Transformers.
Galvatron.
Yeah, and they make Galvatron, and Galvatron's got Megatron's DNA,
He is Megatron, yeah,
infecting him.
reborn.
so it makes Galvatron evil because
Mhm.
he's got that DNA in him. Maybe they've made a Dalek from that metal in the
Maybe
metal.
maybe
like,
all of the Daleks
They have a-
are Megatron.
well,
made it evil.
I think this is going to be a crossover with Transformers, actually.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, so there's a series, like, it looks like some out of the Matrix of green
Have you-
Yeah.
things containing Dalek mutants. So I think
The bit at
the British government is making Daleks.
yeah,
yeah,
which has never been. Pardon me. Which has never been like. They've never had an episode where the humans actually like make Daleks, and like they've had
Careful how
like-
you word this.
Victory of the Daleks, but that's not. They didn't actually make them.
No, we
Whereas
create
this
you.
seems to be like the humans have made the Daleks, and then
yeah.
the Daleks turn on them, or you know,
I have a
Daleks
feeling.
revolt against them.
I'm pretty sure it's a
Well-
Big Finish that does that.
Wow.
So it's called Revolution of the Daleks. It's going to be the new. Shall we talk about the design of them?
Yeah,
Yep.
can I just mention?
First of all, just like
Wait, what's Dang gonna say?
I didn't quite appreciate the. I had a feeling they'd be human design because they don't. They look like they could be built on Earth compared to the normal bronze ones that look like they're made out of a different material. You know, there's no nuts and bolts in them and stuff. But what completely changed my mind was halfway through the trailer when I realised that they fitted, like a gaming computer, they fitted RGB strips to them and they change colour when they're angry and they're in like game. It's like they turn is it ray tracing? They turn that on and they just go into absolute full power and they just overclock
blue
them.
light or red light.
Yeah, and they've got little fans at the back as well that are all connected to the motherboard and they just and it's
This really tickled me.
lad.
looking
It's,
Like
forward
my
to it.
mouth.
it's the PC Master Race in real life.
Yeah, it's the whole episode will be sponsored by who makes RGB?
Razer or
Corsair. They make RGB stuff.
Oh, the Corsair's back as well.
The Corsair will be
he's-
in it, and
he's
he will
making
he will
keyboards.
create Corsair, and they will have all these RGB Daleks. Great. Linus Tech Tips video. It's just the whole episode.
Shall we talk? I don't like the design.
I don't
I
think.
don't
What?
mind it.
I love it.
Now, Paul, you've got some very strong opinions about people who don't like the design, don't you?
Well, I know you're not one of these people, Dan. But there's certain people out there,
Yeah.
that whenever anything remotely, anything Chibnall's even looked at comes on screen, they'll go, "That's bad because Chibnall made it," and you're like, "Well,
I mean, that is a pretty
not, is it?
good. That tends to, just as a rule of thumb, it's bad because Chibnall makes it. Tends to work most of the time, I've found.
Like 42.
I've got a little,
Take that, Chibnall. I really got you there, didn't I?
got a little thing from Twitter here, yeah, that I would like to read out. You ready?
Alright.
Some guy.
What's this going to be? Is this going to be one of your interactions with someone on?
I haven't.
You owned them.
This is just someone else has posted this. It's just a screenshot of a Facebook comment and it says, "Haven't seen a single episode of Doctor Who since her arrival. Not going to watch any of her episodes with a female doctor. Her acting is horrendous and the writers should be ashamed of themselves." But he's not watched it, so he doesn't know that. So you've got to...
Stupid, not my doctor is stupid. Right, moving on.
Yeah, classics.
Chibnall
bad. The classic.
It looks bad.
I mean, I think it's supposed to... The reason why it doesn't look good for a lot of people is because it doesn't look like a traditional Dalek, but it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
I originally thought that is ugly, and I thought about it. See, the thing is with the Recon, I thought the same in Resolution. I thought, it's just not for me, but whatever, it's a one-off.
Yeah.
And then when these came around, I thought, what? There must be a twist here, and I'm glad there is. If they were supposed to be what Daleks looked like back on Skaro, I'd be like, that's very retroactive. Like that's weird.
I can understand that, but
I think they're supposed to look off. And don't worry, because what we've seen with them filming on Clifton Suspension Bridge, they're all going to get blown up anyway.
Yeah.
The bronze ones will be alive still at the end. We know that.
Bronze ones.
Yeah, there's like 15 of them, and just one of the.
There were no bronze ones in this trailer. It was only the new ones.
It's a big ship, though.
Yes.
I assume it's going to be a war between a revolution, you might say, between
their gaming rig and
between their gaming
the Time
rig
War
and
gaming rig. The RGB Daleks and the
that's what we should refer to them.
The sleeper Daleks.
Yeah. I do like different types of Daleks. Like we've gotten it a bit in like the Daleks with exclamation marks. There's like the strategist and executioner and things, and special weapons Dalek. But I like it when it's done right, like this guy, Ironside.
Yeah, the Ironside is
Podcast.
such a good design.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
And
I'm
like
just looking at my 2 Victory canvas poster up there. It's so nice.
And like I really like. I think I'm in a minority here, but I liked as they've been called, the Skittles Daleks, the
ones
that I made at the end of Victory.
I'm one of the 3
And I
fans
wish-
of them as well.
I love them, especially in
think they should
Asylum
have
with their
kept them
darker
more.
colours.
Mm-hmm.
And like they even made a purple one that wasn't seen in that episode. That was in a different episode. It just was there in the background.
Oh, and
Just
it was supposed to be in Series 9 opener, wasn't it? They had
yeah,
an Eternal and some purple one that they had lying around, but they never used it.
yeah. I think it appeared in Magician's Apprentice though, just like in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, which Dalek are we talking about?
No, sorry, yeah, I'm getting confused. It was a fucking it was a purple one, but the upper part was yellow, it was a mix between an Eternal prop and some purple
Yeah.
thing. So I think they just didn't finish painting it in time or something like that. I think that's purely why it wasn't on screen, is because it was just thrown together.
Yeah,
Originally,
but I do like.
What?
Go on.
You were saying something, Paul?
No, go on, Cameron.
No, but it's just I do like the new designs of Daleks, and this one I'm not too fond of yet, but it may grow on me. They may try keeping it around, but like they said in the last one, it was a reconnaissance Dalek, which anything for reconnaissance has to be a bit smaller so it's not seen. From a military standpoint, it makes sense why it's smaller.
Yeah, and that's why that Dalek took on a whole fleet of soldiers, wasn't it? And a tank.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to be seen.
Oh my god, the bit with the tank.
That was
Yeah,
When
that's
the
one of
one of my
missiles
favourite
like
Dalek
bounce
scenes
off
ever.
each other.
That's so cool.
It's straight from
That's
Series
really
1, that as well. Isn't it?
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh, go on, Cameron.
no, that was literally it. It was just like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it makes sense why there's these smaller Daleks.
Well, originally, like when people were criticising it, my idea was that so remember the reconnaissance Dalek was sending a distress call or whatever to other Daleks.
Yeah.
So obviously the reconnaissance Dalek is it's rusted, and people say it's made from scraps, which it is, but it's scraps of its original armor as well. So the design of the reconnaissance Dalek is how that Dalek would look before it, without it being ancient. So when they revealed the new design, I was like, right, so this is what the reconnaissance Dalek would have looked like when it came to Earth originally and attacked people, rather than
Yeah.
it'd look like the new human ones, more polished and less rusty, but the same basic shape and that.
Yeah.
People act like this was this shape because it's completely made of scrap, but I don't think it is.
Do we think that speaking of resolution, I've just seen a tweet about how in that they mentioned that they've dissolved UNIT, haven't they, because of lack of funding. So do you think the reason they need the reason they've got these Daleks that not Trump has made is because they're low on defences, so they're gonna make a deal with him?
Maybe because
Potentially.
you'd have to make them once and then the robot, so you don't have to pay them. So,
But hasn't there been set photos of UNIT fans been seen on set?
I'd argue that Chibnall, because at the start of Series 12, he goes out of his way to mention that Torchwood's no longer a thing as well. So I'd argue that Chibnall bringing Jack back. Obviously, Chibnall used to write for Torchwood. Maybe he's got a little Torchwood thing up his sleeves.
Maybe.
Maybe a merger of Torchwood and UNIT to bring it back or something.
As something we briefly mentioned in the news, Time Fracture seems to confirm that UNIT are still around,
Yeah,
looking underground.
for free.
In the trailer, she says she's the
for only
former head.
£50. Yes, and there's those two former UNIT scientists.
Yeah.
UNIT seems to still be around.
It's there, but doing what it should be and being a secretive thing and not having UNIT headquarters written on the side of a building.
And a lovely country estate run by a silly old man.
You could say the same about Torchwood, where in Series 2 it opens with a woman going bloody Torchwood. Yeah, it's funny, but what else you know?
Everyone
Torchwood?
knows where they are. Outside
like,
the government, beyond the police,
classic
yet they
Torchwood.
cock up everything they do, and everyone knows who they are and where they are, even the people.
If you bring people back from the dead in alleyways, classic Torchwood shenanigans.
Bloody Torchwood.
Yeah. Any more to say on this, or?
Should we get to the meat and the bones of this podcast?
the prison is
Yeah,
Shada.
it's got a Pating in it.
it's got a thing in it.
Sorry,
It's got,
are we taking bets whether this is Shada or not?
I would bet my
I
life
don't think they'll call it that.
that it's Shada.
I'm gonna bet.
It's Shada in all but name at the
£3.72
moment.
that it's Shada.
Yeah, it's got a big Christmas tree looking cactus thing in it.
Yeah, there are a few things in there. Like,
Hmm.
where did you think you saw the Weeping Angel?
Look
It's
right,
right behind
in
the
front
doctor.
of the doctor. Like she's staring right at it. I posed this theory to Dan.
There's
earlier
like
on.
some red lines,
Yeah,
like
but
some
you
red
can see
wires
like
coming off
you
of
can
it.
see its skirt and the wing and a bit of the arm.
Hmm.
So I posed the theory to Dan that maybe this like prison yard like canteen thing is like, well, obviously they're in prison, so they're being punished. Maybe they have to stare at the Weeping Angel. Like
I don't. Those like the wires coming off it seem to be some kind of containment. And I don't think it is a
Oh, yeah.
prison yard because
I
like,
think
they're
it's
in-
a cafeteria sort of thing.
no, like if you look at it, they're in individual cages,
Oh, no, yeah,
individual
they
scale.
Yeah, the
which
thing is,
Could a Weeping Angel scale a fence if you weren't
that's
looking at
what
it?
that's what I'm thinking. That a lot of the monsters and the creatures that are in there are like so powerful they could just get out dead easy.
they could,
and plus a lot of
jump
them,
out
like
of the hole in the roof.
the Weeping Angel would kill everything in there anyway.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I
So
see the
it's like,
Slitheen now.
they must be low. It must either, they must have it under control in some way. They must like have it restricted.
Can you see the
Where's
Slitheen?
the Slovene?
It's like its leg, but it's definitely a Slitheen's leg. I'll send it in general now.
This would be great if I could have like
Which-
pictures
it's
up
like
on the
next to
screen,
the
but I
Cyberman.
can't be asked.
Next to the Cyberman.
Don't even have your camera plugged in, on fucking hell.
Oh yeah.
So you're just gonna do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Slitheen's foot by the looks of it.
Oh, I think I can see that. Yeah.
And then with Chibnall saying about monsters from the past 15 years.
If that's there, it'll be no more than a. We need to reuse this prop. Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
Slovene.
Yeah.
We're saying to Dan before we start recording, this could just be like the canteen at the end of time, and it's just loads of different monsters and stuff. Like some
Yeah,
we've seen, some
yeah.
we haven't, and just
Just whatever they had in the props shed.
yeah.
It will be, but like it's exciting. I just like it.
What's that big green thing?
It's a big
The giant
spiky
cactus?
bush thing.
Yeah.
What's this? Can you see
What?
the very tall thing on the left side? It's like above one of the cages in the back.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
There's a big worm next to it as well.
Is there?
We don't know, but we'll have to wait until New Year's Day to find
Yeah.
out.
I mean, are
I mean,
we gonna get a?
The
Do we
thing
do?
just eat through the cage.
That's what
And
I
why
said
is the
before.
thing locked up? It's like a
You
man
did,
with
yeah.
beast.
That's
like
what I was
not-
saying. Like they're all so OP. Like they must be at
Yeah.
some kind of.
It's barely sentient.
Disadvantage.
Like it's.
But,
like,
do
just a-
Do we
just-
think we'll be getting a second trailer until then, or do you think this is all we've got?
Yeah.
Maybe some.
I
more
think this is
photos?
all we'll get.
Yeah.
No,
I
reckon
think we'll get like a short bit around, say, maybe Christmas, where it's just like 7 days until the new episode, and it will just be glimpses of things. Some we'll probably have seen before, some that
That's
will
a
be
good bet.
new.
It's a safe bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We won't probably be able to tell because it will just be like a 30-second bit
Yeah.
in between
The-
Strictly and Calls a Midwife.
Yeah, the most we'll get is a TV spot, I think.
People are getting excited, yeah. Do you know, like when Series 12 came out, they released a trailer, and then a week later they released another trailer. People think that's going to happen, but this is one episode, and that was an entire series.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So that's obviously not going to happen.
but yeah, I will put
Yeah.
money on it. They will probably do a TV spot between Strictly Come Dancing and Calls a Midwife on Christmas Day.
How much? What blood type are you?
I don't know.
Come on.
It's never
have a
come
guess.
up.
Have a guess.
I honestly don't know.
I'm genuinely surprised you didn't go up. Then pull out a massive file and start flicking through it and go, B negative.
Yeah, I've never needed to know my blood type, so I don't actually know it.
But,
I'm 21.
Speaking of being negative, should we talk about Asylum of the Daleks?
Oh, what a
Oh, you're never negative about any
transition.
episode. Transition.
Yeah, you
Oh,
look.
I'm not going to be negative about it 'cause I enjoy it.
Yeah, you love everything that's.
I enjoy
Doctor Who, don't you?
I enjoy it, but I don't like.
See, of all the segues you could have had, like that links these two episodes together, like Daleks and stuff like that, you chose like something that's not even true.
Blood types. Let's talk about the Sycorax.
So yeah, the episode we're talking about this week is Asylum of the Daleks, the Series 7 opener.
Yes, and if anyone's watching this on YouTube, well, listening to it through YouTube, have a look at the screen and have a look at that red drone with the red eye. What's that all about? Sorry, just to completely stop.
Do we
you
get
there
to
in
see
your
a
tracks.
picture of this?
No,
No.
Okay.
just noticed it now and it's annoying me.
Google Asylum of the Daleks.
I'll send you a picture. But yeah, it's just really weird. This one Dalek has a red eye. Yeah. So what? Who wants to go
what
first?
were our
Oh,
thoughts
yeah.
going into this episode?
I hadn't seen this, I think, since release, since it came out.
I remember at the time, this was the first episode I had to wait for, apart from the Christmas special, because Series 6 was the first series I watched. So I remember being very excited for this episode to come out. But I'd also read in like a Doctor Who magazine that Jenna Coleman was going to be the next companion. So I was very confused going into it.
Well, I know the fact that Jenna Coleman was the new companion was very widely known. At this
Yeah.
They
point.
really played the press this
when
time.
it came on, I was like, oh. I remember not watching it live though, because I was on holiday in my uncle's house, so I had to wait a bit. So I thought it was a bit annoying, but yeah, I enjoyed the episode enough. I like the bits in the snow.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I think the bits in the snow are quite like, I don't know, it's like a nice change of pace, isn't it? So, and I think the bit in like where they climb into the ship and the zombie like activates is very like that was quite scary.
Yeah.
I'm not
Like
a fan
fun
of
to
the eye
watch.
stalk coming out of the forehead. That's
yeah.
really
I
weird.
I didn't hate this until last year because I'd never thought about it. But I hate that Moffat just took the Daleks and went, and now the humans. Like,
They
it's been
could have
pointed
done
out
it a
that
much
Moffat
better
does
way to
that
have
a
a
lot.
human Dalek slave than just eye stalk.
It's the
Gun in the
it's the
hand.
same problem with Wolverine's claws. Like they physically don't fit in the space that they're coming out of, so it just baffles me every time I
Nanobots.
see it. Yeah, true.
Yeah, the Dalek one makes sense. Like, so does the Wolverine one. He probably just has less bones in his arm, or more.
I
I
think
space.
think it's
I've
more
seen in
how
one
does he
thing.
move his wrist.
The Wolverine bones,
Oh.
they go there, and then when he extends them, they just shoot out. So they
Yeah,
actually
right.
sit in his front, but this
Yeah.
is not Wolverine. This is Doctor Who.
Isn't it?
It's also fit.
I have a question for you.
Go on.
When they open this episode, it opens on Skaro, which, this is the first time Skaro's been featured in New Who. It got destroyed in Classic Who.
I thought it was destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, and
How
they just
destroyed
bat-
was it?
It was destroyed in
thought-
blew up.
Remembrance, wasn't it?
Ah.
I thought it was destroyed in the Time War, along with
Wait, no,
Gallifrey.
it was destroyed in Remembrance, and then
Yeah,
in the TV
that's all I know
movie,
about Remembrance.
he says that it's fine because he takes the Master there.
No, I know
Yeah.
that, but I've always
and then it gets
like,
destroyed in the Time War,
destroyed in the Time War. Yeah.
What the fuck?
and then it's back here, but then it's hidden again in The Magician's Apprentice for some reason, and they need to work out what they're doing with it.
In
But-
the
Tiny whiny.
skyscraper, fucking
Yeah.
pyramid buildings,
This
and then
giant, massive Dalek, how the fuck did they build that?
yeah, and then in fucking The Magician's Apprentice, it's just classic series Skaro. Just looks like a normal place, well, not normal place.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
I like
ruined
it.
slightly by the bunny ears Dalek, but we'll gloss over that.
Can we talk about
What a weird choice.
the prequel episode thing?
Oh god, Pond Life.
No.
Oh right,
That
because
is
that
very
makes no sense.
I love Pond Life.
Hey, I
don't-
fucking hate Pond
Don't
Life.
catch me on Pond Life.
Can I cover why I hate Pond Life?
Oh, yeah.
Ood having a shit?
Go on. Go
So
on. Have a pond,
it's-
go off
it's-
on life.
Comedy bit. Look how zany our life is when we live around the Doctor. Look, there's an Ood on our toilet, and then the episode actually
Mhm.
starts, and it's they're getting divorced. Like what?
Yeah.
It comes
I
out of
thought
nowhere.
Pond Life-
There is no lead up to it. I
I
hate it.
thought Pond Life was set after Asylum.
No, Pond Life takes place before. It's the thing they
Mhm.
release between the series. It's like
Right, well, I never watched it in that order.
it's
But,
really, really weird if you watch them back to back because it's like, what? Whose
Yeah.
idea was this?
I
Yeah.
always thought it was either after they got back together or, do you know, like, since
By the way,
Power Free set in, like,
By the
2020,
way,
and it was
Dan.
like a big 7-year ago.
it was a Chris Chibnall idea, Dan.
What was?
Pond Life, the lead up.
It was written by Chris Chibnall. I like
Makes
Pond Life.
sense.
Even
Actually.
if we just go into it from
That makes sense.
A Good Man Goes to War into Asylum of the Daleks, it still doesn't make it that
It's
much
just-
sense why they're
I
getting
hate
divorced.
this show so much.
Why would you go from a good why would you go from A Good Man Goes to War? It'd be from the Wedding River Song.
It
Yeah.
still doesn't make sense whatever
Just skip
episode
the
comes
entire
before it.
series.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense.
I forgot which one this was.
You know, if you watch the Aztecs and then watch this episode, it doesn't quite make sense. It doesn't line up.
No,
the,
Wedding of River Song, sorry, where they're in the garden with River, and it's like, we're having a glass of wine, and
That's
isn't
so
the doctor
weird, that.
marvelous?
That reminds me of
And-
like
Why-
being having like
why-
a neighbour's party and being the last people out, and you just sat there with your auntie and she's asking you how school's going and stuff like that, and you just
You seen
reflecting.
anyone?
You're reflecting.
can't it
Yeah,
just be
you're
that-
reflecting
You
on
have to
the
get a
series.
girlfriend yet?
No. Why
No,
can't
my
it just be
auntie
set
speaks like
anywhere?
that.
Like it'd fit perfectly in Series 6.
What do we
Like
think
Queen.
about the choice to briefly divorce the Ponds?
It didn't do anything.
No,
It-
it's a really, really.
It actually, if
odd-
anything, it actually slows down the story because it keeps taking
Yeah.
time for him to go out to stop whatever he's doing, the doctor this is, and then turn to either Amy or Rory and say, "How are you feeling? Talk to me. What's going on?" It's like this is
I-
this is
If
slowing
they
us down.
kept it throughout the series, it would have
Yeah.
been fine.
Yeah, it just really
But
kicks the
it's,
pace and the
What,
teeth.
half
though.
an hour in the first episode?
It's a good idea, like, because obviously it's Amy leaves Rory, not because she doesn't love him, but because he wants a kid and she can't give it to him.
But
which
that
is
doesn't
like,
make any sense.
no, what?
If only there was a way you could like adopt a child, you know?
Yeah.
No, I
Like-
mean, like, well, they do that in the end. But... So,
um,
but yeah, that's like a
Don't worry,
like a
guys.
compelling
They
reason.
have sex in the TARDIS, and that creates a
Yeah.
child who can
No, but-
regenerate.
It's like it's a compelling reason to
I don't think it is, Paul.
no to like listen. Let me explain it. Right.
Go ahead. I've been
So-
listening.
The idea that she breaks up with Rory so Rory can move on with his life and have a kid with someone else, but Rory doesn't want to be with anyone else is a good idea if they stuck with it. But they
It-
go, oh, Rory, I love you, Rory. So
But that's like she never mentioned that was why
she
she
does.
kicked him. No, but like at the time,
What do you mean at the time?
like when
When they get
broke up.
divorced, she doesn't mention that.
Yeah, because she
It's kind
doesn't
of
want
like
to
a-
tell him that.
I
like-
understand the reasons that the characters did it. I just don't think it was very good.
Yeah.
Well,
This could have
anyway,
been a much better subplot if they continued it, though, because it then has bigger ramifications for the Angels Take Manhattan, where she jumps up on the ledge with him and says, "I love you, Rory Williams," snogs him and jumps off a building.
well,
Holy shit! You've just fixed Series 7, Cameron.
sorry, what did you say,
Thank you.
Cameron?
You've just fixed Series 7.
If they kept the divorce
that would've been
storyline
better.
through, and then at the end where Rory is about to get out, she jumps up and goes, "You're not doing this alone, I love you," that's
Yeah.
their reconciliation bit, and then they jump off towards their death, which
Yeah.
they think
Character
is their
arc.
death.
And then you see the sequel minisode where it turns out they did adopt a kid and they lived a happy life.
And there's a nude on the toilet.
And there's
And
no
there is a
Yeah.
nude on the toilet.
right.
It's
No,
so
that would have
wacky.
been
That was
a
a
much
good-
better
that was a
subplot,
good
but
one,
no, they
Cameron.
did it within half an hour of the first episode.
I was speaking about the other mini episode that they released.
After
Rory's
Angel
story.
Take Manhattan.
No. Before this episode, it's like the doctor's in an alien cafe and a woman in a hood approaches him and they sit down and she asks him what his name is or something and he's like, oh, I'm not telling you that. And then she's like, oh, you need to go to Scaro, and he's just like, what is going on? What is this? What is this thing you've given me? Like, I don't want it.
Mm.
But I'll tell you what it's called though, because it'll be here. But like I
Is
have no clue what the purpose of. It's like to explain why the doctor went there, and I think it's the woman who's like, "Oh, you've took me, kid."
mm.
But like in that thing, she's cloaked the whole time, and I think that it's implied that it could be River Song, or it's like they mentioned that he's married to River Song, and I was just like, what is happening in this thing?
Is there anything we liked about this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like the plot.
I do like seeing classic Daleks, even if they serve no purpose, but just to get you all riled up and watch the episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the use the set design and prop design on all of the Daleks looks really cool.
Yeah, they're completely
I like-
pointless, but they're cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I like how the Time War Daleks and the new, like, Moffat era ones integrate well enough, and it's not like, oh, you are filth below and whatever.
I'm
And
angry that Moffat pussied out of using them new designs because they look
I think-
amazing in this episode.
I think that's one of the reasons people never took to them. Is he
Because
really?
he backtracked on it. Like,
Yeah.
like
Well,
the
it's
new
also the
design
thing, though, they've
Chibnall's made. If he wanted to use them again, like if he wanted them to be the Daleks of his era, he doesn't listen to like backlash, so he'd do that if he wanted to. But Moffat
think
was
it's
like,
also, like,
oh, I
just
can't use these.
a thing anyway, because they obviously had lots of bronze Dalek props, so why not use them? Because obviously the Daleks still had the Time War. There'd still be lots of bronze Daleks,
Yeah.
whereas we only ever saw 5 of the new ones. So
Yeah, it is the description for the prequel episode for Asylum. The Doctor receives a message from a mysterious hooded stranger, a woman called Darla von Carlson.
Oh,
who
you're still
wants to
talking
meet
about
him.
this?
Yeah,
Um,
I got the DVD out to see what it was. It's literally nothing. But
also a question with the Daleks at the start. So we meet the Dalek Prime Minister. Next to him
I love
Yeah.
that.
is the Dalek Supreme.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference?
But then who has more power? The Prime Minister, the Dalek Supreme, the Supreme Dalek, the Black Commander Daleks, like Dalek Sec, the Emperor, or Davros?
It's
Davros has no power.
They form a committee.
Okay.
And then rotate who's in charge every 4 years.
Do you remember, like, I say do you remember as if I was around when they were broadcast, but like in Classic Who, you look at Dalek Invasion of Earth and stuff like that, you got like Saucer Pilot Daleks, you got Guard Daleks, even the new series Emperor Guard Daleks, yet in this we get some paradigms that look really sexy but do nothing.
Yeah.
Tons of bronze ones, which is fine, it's a great design. And then more classic ones that still do nothing, and it's just it's weird because it's a Dalek focused episode, but there's too much. I think.
I do like seeing the special weapons Dalek back.
Yeah, but
And
he doesn't,
I like
he doesn't
the
even
thing-
move.
I like the thing they do where the more infected you get, like Amy thinks there's like ballerinas there, and it's just
Oh,
Daleks
the
that have gone
hallucinations are cool,
insane.
yeah.
I love that. That's very cool, and I like all the Clara stuff. Like genuinely, like amazing. Like I thought she was very good in the episode, and like I don't know, just the way she interacts with the Doctor and the twist at the end where she's a Dalek. I thought that was amazing.
The eggs
Eggs.
exterminate. Yeah.
Yeah,
What an odd line.
I do like that. But
I quite like the bit where it's like, does she remember me? Slap, she remembers me.
Mhm.
I quite like that bit. And
Oh,
doesn't she look angry? I'm Scottish.
I cringed into oblivion every time Clara talked about Chinny. Or Mr.
Yeah,
Chin,
I
or
like
whatever
that.
she called him. That like on broadcast, I was fine with that because it was
It's,
just whatever. But The more I look back at some
Classic,
dialogue
classic
like that,
Moffat writing women.
it's
The
proper.
chin on the nose.
Yeah, it's just not.
He's not even got that big of a chin.
No,
Especially when you think Jenna Coleman had to just say those lines to like a blank screen on her own in a studio one day. It's just like, oh man, that's very cringy.
Tis a bit. Funny.
What else have we got to say? We really can't leave it at like 16 minutes and have talked about the other thing for an hour.
oh fuck! Really, it's only been 16 minutes.
That's why I said we should do the trailer as the episode. But
Might
I
as well
have-
get this one out of the way.
Edd's
Yeah.
thoughts to do as well. We could separate it into 2 episodes and then not
It
record.
it just
not
overall
record next week.
it. Wait, separate what into 2 episodes?
Let's not
We
do
could
that. Let's not even
separate
go
this
there.
into the trailer and then the Asylum for now.
Why would we do
that? No.
We've
Because
we've
we-
clearly not talked about the Revolution of the Asylum of the Daleks enough.
No, I mean
Bit
when we
with-
continue, if we continue to.
Asylum of the Daleks. Don't you think it's a bit weird with the implication of all of the battles the Doctor and the Daleks have been in? Out of all of the Daleks to interact with the Doctor, only a dozen or so have survived.
I think that's like specifically ones that end up in the asylum and have also been in battle with him. I don't think that's
Yeah.
all the ones that survived battles with
Yeah.
the Doctor.
The
But they're all
implication for
aware.
me was the ones that were in the intensive care unit, as it was called, were the
Mhm.
ones that had survived him directly. So all the others were just insane from battle with like the Time War. But
Mm.
these were the ones that had battled the Doctor directly, and they were the only ones to survive, and they were driven insane by him. And it's only like a dozen.
Do you know Amy's DNA?
Yeah.
It must be
Weird
absolutely
tangent.
fucked. Because in Vampires of Venice, she gets vampire blood transfusion, but only one, so it doesn't hold. But she'd still have a bit there. Then in this, she's half becoming a Dalek, so she'd be a bit vampire, a bit Dalek, and human.
Yeah, what happens with the fact that she got half converted?
Well, she just left, and then
Is it like
a
when you're doing a
DNA
download, and like it says it's there, but it's not? Like it just reverts to factory setting if it's not complete.
It must
Yeah,
just be like
yeah, that
the,
must be what it is.
the like DNA like repairs itself, and I don't know. Like the less exposed to it you are, the
The Doctor did something off screen.
doesn't make sense.
You know, Cameron touched on how the intensive care lot are survivors of different battles and stuff. There's that really obvious fan service bit that I hate, where Oswin just starts going Spiridon, Kemble, and just naming like places that they've met, like Exelon. It's like, okay, yep, we know. There's other Dalek stories. Let's move on. It's just like in
They-
freaking Dr. Falls, where he's just like, Mundas, tell us, and it's like, okay,
Thank you, Moffat.
like yes,
I don't
these
mind
are
it. I
all
don't mind it.
episodes.
I don't mind it in Doctor Falls, but it is I get.
In
I
this,
get
it's
what you mean
really
in
on
this
the nose.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
We also
Wow.
get Clara's theme in this episode,
Yes.
As
which
Lovely.
I had to ask about because I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, it was definitely Clara's theme.
Yeah.
I
Which is-
assume it's because they did the music towards the end.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so it's quite nice how they like get that. Well, it's sort of foreshadowing, isn't it? Like this
It
isn't
is.
Clara, but it's still Clara's theme.
It it's one of the strengths of Murray Gold is the way you would like use his use of leitmotifs.
Yes.
was really good. And it's a shame some of them haven't come back.
Yeah. Also, why is love always a superpower in like this sort of thing?
It's
Because it's
I've had so much. I've had enough of. Oh, it's love. That's what saved us.
That's another Moffat thing where he's like, "Oh, fear's a superpower, love's a superpower." Yo, shut up, Moffat.
Yeah.
And then in fucking Chibnall's Silurian episodes, they're like, "Autism's a superpower." And that's the worst one. Fucking every time someone uses that as a plot, I'm like, "Oh fuck."
When did I don't remember that one happening.
the kid's autistic, and the doctor's like, "Oh, that means you're more clever," and you're like, "Oh."
Do you remember when the
Depends how
doctor
much you
told
apply.
that
That is
girl
a weird
not to
trope,
take her
isn't it?
medication because she was a psychic being?
Yeah, and then there's that one in the kid in the Predator movie. Like the Predators want his DNA because autism makes you more powerful, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, it's a really odd, weird.
It's a weird.
Wanting
damaging
people to be
trope.
more comfortable with it, but not doing it the right way because it's written by
Yeah,
people who don't have autism.
Yeah, people who don't actually understand what's
They've
going on.
never spoken to anyone with autism before. They're just guessing.
I can see what they're trying to do with that, but they're doing it very badly.
Literally.
They've got a good heart, though. Brave heart, Tegan.
Let's
don't
not
know why I
do
went
that
slightly
segment
Scottish
again.
Oh, yeah, brave, Deegan. Yeah, no.
So yeah, what else can we say about the Asylum of the Daleks?
It's a bit of a mess.
It's
What
a,
were the
it's a bit
ratings like,
sloppy,
Cameron?
but I don't hate it.
I could see
No,
this
it's
being
it's
better
fine.
as a two-parter and, like, on the planet have, like, a bigger battle scene with, like, the insane Daleks fighting each other. Because
Yeah.
if you're a Dalek who likes to fight, if you're insane, you're not just going to be all placid going, exterminate. You'd be killing the shit out of anything that moves.
You just say flaccid.
Placid.
Oh.
I didn't. Not the other one. So, for my trivia, before we get Ed's thoughts or whatever we're calling it this week, there are 25 different types of Dalek.
Cheeky.
Oh.
Yes. One of which include a special weapons Dalek, which is just in the background,
Bay.
and a Dalek owned by Russell T Davies. Because
I thought it was
of
the
course he
one
owned
that
the Dalek.
Stephen Moffat owned.
I don't
Everyone
know.
owns a Dalek. Everyone. John Barrowman owns a Dalek. The black
I
one's
will
a
one
bit
day.
metal.
But they apparently sent out a, lack of a better term, a casting call for Daleks. So if you owned a Dalek and you contacted the BBC, it was more than likely going to be in this episode.
That's so cool.
And it's something kind of quite like from this episode going forward. They've included more classic Daleks, so they're just like a variety. There's more of a variety of Dalek scene nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't understand why in Magician's Apprentice they went back to the red Supreme Dalek instead of the white one, though.
I think they just had the prop line.
They just had it. Again, it's like
Yeah.
I mentioned. They bait you in with old Daleks for nostalgia and stuff, and
With,
then they don't do anything different with them. It's really annoying.
with that one, it's more because so that episode's set before Journey's End, and then when
It's
we
not,
see him,
though.
it is.
I don't think it is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It's said afterwards.
No.
They've
it's not.
referenced the bits that happen in Journey's
Starro.
End in it.
They're very explicit about the fact it's like, oh no, Scarro's back. Because it wasn't there in...
Yeah.
Are you okay, Paul? Are you having a stroke?
Have we just ruined your...
I always thought it was set earlier than that.
Series
No.
9 isn't a
No.
very good series.
Yeah, because
You mentioned before we started the episode you're not a fan of that one.
I kind of really don't like it.
Yeah, so I was gonna say anyway. That Supreme Dalek's often seen with Davros now, so
Yeah.
it makes sense for him to be with him there. Even though
Are they...
that's what made me think it was before it, because that Supreme Dalek
Yeah.
dies in that episode. So
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
he
Yeah.
who wears the
It's
armor
Doctor
carries
Who,
the
there's no
weapon.
continuity.
There
Yeah.
is a black Dalek sect type commander in the Asylum, though.
Yeah,
I
I
noticed
think
that
there's
as well.
supposed to be quite a few of those around because they're
From
kind of like
probably
cult
John
leaders, aren't they?
Barrowman's.
Yeah, I think it's
Like,
like
they're just
the
officers,
hierarchy.
I
There's
think.
the Supreme, and then the black one is underneath it as like a general commander sort of thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to in the classic series where it was the red one was the commander and the black one was a Supreme.
Oh, little bit.
Um,
Now the red one's
This
the
is
blonde
the
one.
first Dalek episode written by Stephen Moffat as well.
Nice.
So he'd been writing since 2005, and it took him until whatever year this was to write a Dalek
2013.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he still didn't write an amazing one.
Yeah, he does struggle, doesn't he?
Has he written a good
Wait,
Dalek story?
I don't think he has.
No, because
Oh.
Mark Gatiss wrote Victory of the Daleks, and then in Series 6, they only appeared in the Wedna River Song, and he was
Mhm.
just dying. So,
Yeah.
And then after this, he was like, "Well, I'll just throw them in every series, and I'll do my best."
Yeah, it was after this one that he said he wanted to rest them for a bit, yet he goes on to use them every year.
Jesus.
It's like the Cybermen as well. They appear in episode 12 of every single one of his episodes.
Yep.
Series.
Which, yeah,
Episode
series, sorry.
12.
Which is
you made me have a brain
very
fart then. I
weird.
was like, what? Yeah, it is. He's an odd man. Though you should watch that that video he did with Nerd Cubes. It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's like unfiltered.
Stephen
And
Moffat interview.
they just ask him the weirdest stuff, and he just goes
Mhm.
along with it. It's great.
Yeah, it's because his son is a fan of Nerd Cubes.
Oh.
That's how they got in contact with him.
How old's his son?
He was in Sherlock, wasn't he? He played a young Sherlock.
Oh,
Yeah.
So he's very young. Then he's not like our age.
Well, he was about.
I think
he's
he is
about
our age, actually. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Because Sherlock was quite a while ago.
I forgot it takes them 10 years to write a series of Sherlock.
This
So
is
Joshua Moffat.
Moffat wanted this episode to make the Daleks scary again, which I don't think he did.
Well,
No.
I don't come out of this going, the Daleks are scary again. I
Yeah.
come out of this going,
when I was
the
that
Daleks
age,
again.
when I was that age, I thought it was a pretty creepy episode. Like, I'll be honest, but it's nowhere near like Dalek, where
That's
or,
still
or
that
even,
is still the best Dalek episode.
or even like
It
Resolution.
probably is. Yeah.
Resolution's a pretty good Dalek story, I'd say, like singular.
Yeah, but it's just not as tight. Giggity.
Yeah, because it's got that one joke where they're like, we should have a conversation, and it ruins the
It's not
entire
even that
episode.
lets it down. I think
Oh, it is.
I think
That's why
Resolution
like
has its issues, but I think as a Dalek story, I think it's not as good as others.
Mm.
So back to the bit about Skaro earlier. The Dalek Parliament was meant to be on Skaro 2. So like,
Electric Boogaloo.
here we've got another Dalek planet. What do we call it?
Back
Skaro
in the
2.
habit.
Skaro 2 back in the habit, but the line was cut. So it's just, we're on Skaro again.
Oh.
Mm.
And Rory was meant to have a beard as well, which would be one of the things he does to win Amy back of shaving his beard.
That's
bit like-
weird.
Like when he cuts his hair in Amy's Choice.
Yes.
I like his dress sense has got much better this season in Series
What?
7.
Yeah.
He's
But-
he's a lot more well dressed.
He's always what.
You sure he has a lot of puffer jackets in his early
How
appearances?
come that room that
Yeah.
they're in at the start is so pristine and white and clean?
Can we? Isn't it like where Amy's taking photos?
No, it's
No, the one where they get transported.
The holding
It's-
cell.
that thing
Yeah.
they stood on
Because
comes up.
don't know.
It's good set design.
But,
Yeah,
The whole
um,
episode, good set design.
Mhm.
Have you seen a Rory action figure ever? They all
Yeah.
have puffer jackets on, and they all have a very wide face.
Mhm.
And
I'm just saying
Arthur
he's got nice shoes and he's got a nice jacket in this episode. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he's rolled the cuffs of his jeans up.
Well,
Yeah.
if,
But Arthur Darvill did have a beard before filming this because a West End show he was appearing in the summer season, I think, he had to have a beard for it. But then they filmed this with Angels Take Manhattan.
like describe Arthur Darvill's face and head,
Mm-hmm.
would you agree that it's a very skinny, not very, but like a skinny head compared to
Have a look at him.
the very fat one on? Google the figure as well, just to see how wide the
The
head
figure's
is.
quite good from what I remember.
it
It's
is.
quite a good likeness.
It really.
I remember they made 2 versions. One of them was like a Doctor Who Experience exclusive or something. And went for crazy money.
He's got quite a. He's not a very wide head. No, I wouldn't say.
On the figure.
He's very handsome, isn't
He is quite handsome, I'd say.
he?
And my last bit of trivia, bloody hell. Last bit of trivia I've got. The Oswin character was made to create more mystery around Jenna Coleman's new character,
Will it work?
which
Mhm.
'Cause I haven't
it
played.
worked. Yeah, that was the only bit of the episode that worked.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't be asked looking up human figures this week because I knew Dan would just take the piss.
I do
Well,
feel
which
like I feel like
The other one, not you.
Roddy suits a puffer jacket, I'd say.
I don't. think it looks good.
Because he's meant to be a bit uncool, isn't he? He's not meant to be. But then him and Amy would probably make him dress better because Amy is a very pretty girl and she's a model. So she'd probably be like, Rory, you dress like shit. And he'd be like, well.
I just like his shoes in this episode. That's all I'm saying.
What shoes does he have?
They're like nice leather shoes. And
Honourable
he's got
mention.
layers. He's got layers.
Like Shrek.
It's a t-shirt and a shirt and then a nice jacket.
He always has layers if you count
The puffer jacket looks like
Yeah.
he's trying to look smart for something.
For Amy.
But his Series 7 look just seems like the more casual, oh, I just need to go to the shops. He's got a shirt, picked up his jacket, and gone off and ended up going off in the TARDIS.
Sorry about that. My mic cut out for about 5 minutes.
Oh, have you not been...
I have been talking away, but not.
I thought you just didn't have anything to say about Rory's dress sense.
Yeah, I reckon he suits this.
Nah, I
I
like Dan,
I like-
prefer him in his Series 7 look, where he looks more casual, and he looks...
Every
Just,
Doctor
Arthur
Who
Darwell
companion
looks more
wears like
comfortable.
ridiculously
Yeah.
expensive designer clothes, so it's not very
Because
realistic.
I'm probably wearing his regular clothes.
It made sense with Amy because she was like literally a model at that point, but yeah, it's mad when some of the people you meet in the show and you're like, why are they dressed like that? No one wears that.
Wait, who are you referring to?
Literally any character during this era of the show is wearing like $3,000
Like-
worth of clothes.
Bill,
Bill.
where she's got a t-shirt on that's like, oh, that's David Bowie.
It's Prince. I like
He's
Prince.
very recently died.
I do know people who well, I know one person who spent extortion amount of money on clothes. He spent like $200 on a jacket.
Oh, I can beat that.
He's dead now.
I
I
don't mean
thought
I
it
can beat that, but I knew a guy in college who his everyday outfit came up to about 800 quid at least.
Hey.
Fucking hell. Why is he in college? Should be in prison.
He was in college.
Here we go. So I'd say this is Rory's best look.
What in that movie?
Um,
I saw the time then. I thought that was your lock screen. It's from
Of
that
course.
video that they
Okay,
put
should
out. If anyone's
we-
wondering.
Shall we start wrapping this up?
Should we do?
Let's wrap it
Edd's
up like a
thoughts?
Christmas present.
Oh, very good.
Should we talk
Very
about that? 'Cause I don't know
seasonal
what the plan is.
So Edd's thoughts.
Oh, Edd's thoughts. Go ahead.
Ed's thoughts.
Titled Edd's thoughts, but it's 3 people's thoughts this week. But it's still Edd's thoughts.
Oh, can I just say I put a post out to the Facebook group, but some dickhead of an admin didn't approve it, so we,
Yeah, 'cause
we
I thought-
only have Edd's
thought-
thoughts.
I'd already asked. We've got 3 people's thoughts. Right.
Great.
But we're still calling it Edd's thoughts for the joke. Right. So I said, what are your thoughts on Asylum of the Daleks, Ed? And he put, garbage. Throwing Jenna Coleman and loads of Daleks to distract you from the fact that it's actually shit. Amy and Rory breaking up off screen, Pond Life doesn't count. It's stupid. Paradigm Daleks still being there, the only good thing about the episode. My mate Sam said, it's an alright episode. Don't know how the Doctor seemingly doesn't care that there are Dalek concentration camps now. And Amy and Rory's divorce stuff, I ain't huge on. But all in all, I like it. If I was to give it a rating, it'd be a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
And my mate Matthew said, a fantastic expansion on the lore of the Daleks, as well as a great introduction to Clara. There are many risks taken by Moff to make the Daleks more deep and interesting, with most being executed well as this Asylum of the Daleks is vastly important episode for Amy and Rory, which shows their relationship redevelop in some beautiful scenes. So yeah, Matthew's more on my side of the Asylum debate, but I can see why people don't like it. Definitely.
Yeah, so what are we doing next week then?
So we were gonna do a Christmas episode every week of December and then Resolution.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're doing 3, we might as well do one from each Doctor, not including Eccleston, because he doesn't have one apart from the Unquiet Dead, really. So do a Tennant one, a Smith one, a Capaldi one, and then Resolution.
And then we'll finally be able to talk about the first new episode.
Wait, we're doing resolution.
Yeah, because it's New Year.
So we're going to have to fill. Well, next is the 6th. Then we've got the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. 27th.
So the
And then
27th
after that,
will
the
go just in
next
time.
new episode will be out.
Yeah. So 10th.
So wait, what
What
we're
have we got
doing?
to choose from?
So next
So
week,
next week-
we're doing Christmas Invasion, then A Christmas Carol, then
So
Last
Dan
Christmas.
wants to do the first Christmas episode of every Doctor,
Well, I thought it made sense to do it like
rather
that.
than whichever one we want to do of each Doctor.
It's up to you. I want to do a good
I
one.
would want to do Christmas
I'm
Invasion
warning you
anyway.
now, next week if we're recording on the Sunday, that is my birthday, so I don't really want a stinker of an episode.
Well,
I would want to do Christmas Invasion. I think
Christmas
that's...
Invasion's alright, but
That's
like
solid.
in terms of Christmasiness, Voyage of the Damned or the next Doctor takes it, I reckon.
So it's 2 votes for Christmas Invasion. Cameron, what do you think?
I did say in the bit earlier that my thoughts would be next Doctor, the one I said for Matt Smith.
A Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
It's agreed that we're doing the Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't get a say in that one. And
Hang on, though, it doesn't
Husband of
line
River
up.
Song.
What?
So wait,
I think let's just decide on the Tennant episode
yeah,
we're doing next
let's
week.
Yeah.
let's not do this while we're recording. Let's just end the episode and figure it out later.
Yeah.
So
We will have a Christmas episode next
We'll
week.
see you
we're going to do a
next week.
Christmas Tennant episode next week.
Yep.
How can people get in contact with us if they want to?
They can't.
Come to my house.
They can come to your house.
Go to
my
Liverpool.
door's always open.
Yeah, you should probably fix the lock.
Because he can't afford
Yeah.
a door.
Yeah,
Very
it's,
good.
it's a poor excuse for a door. It's a bit of tape, like when a bus stop's smashed and they just put tape. That's what I've got on my front door. I live in a bus stop. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the old woman wanting your seatball.
yeah. Well, I live here, so she doesn't pay the bus stop rent.
How can people get in contact with us?
Shobocast@gmail.com, Shobocast on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us all individually. You can just find us through that or in the description.
We're on email.
Yeah.
You simply have to be on
these
email
days.
these
Simply
days.
must be on email.
Oh.
These new Daleks are on email these days, being drones and all.
I imagine they have adopted the technology.
Yeah,
given they do like to keep up with the times.
They run on email, from what I've heard.
You can't really be a Dalek these days without being on email. It's very much an essential part of the job.
Yeah, you've got to be. You've got to inconvenience people with the
You
email.
simply have to be.
Yeah.
I'm at Shinksy_ on Twitter. What are you, Cameron?
I'm at Paul Cag on Twitter.
And Paul, what are you on Twitter?
At Lord Paul the Mart on Twitter.
And Dan?
At Paul Laudemort Cag Paul on Twitter.
That has been episode 15 of the Shobocast.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
we are
much for
sorry.
listening and watching and just kind of feeling the vibe.
I love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
What an episode.
Dan's not stopped recording.
He never does.
Yeah, he's not stopped recording. So yeah.
Have you seen that potato knishes thing?
What?
This is
The-
where
the-
I keep my potato knishes. That one.
Is it by Matt Lucas?
No. Yeah, thanks for listening. Big Finish isn't canon. See you later.
Wait, it's still part of the episode. I thought we finished.
Oh, also, we didn't mention the news that Jodie said she's not going around,
Oh, I
not
forgot
going
about that.
anytime soon.
The episode is finished now.
No,
Dan.
it's not.
Stop
We're still
talking.
going. So bonus segment. Oh, also that means that we've not got Ruth as the fugitive doctor. Sorry, it's the 14th. But that was
well, she
unlikely
still
anyway.
could be, but that's
Nah,
just longer away.
nah,
Hmm.
nah.
Nah.